Hey everyone, it's Kelly here at She Learns Video, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my session prep checklist for family photo and film sessions. So if you're new to adding video to your photography business, this checklist will help you to prepare beginning to end in order to be ready to show up on site and shoot both photos and video. If you're interested in learning more about shooting video and you are a photographer already, definitely go over to shelearnsvideo.com, where we have lots of resources and tools on how you can get started with videography. So let's jump in. Okay, so the first step whenever I'm getting ready to shoot a family film and photo session is to have a gear checklist. You're gonna wanna make sure you have all the gear ready for both your photography and your videography. So if you're shooting both, you need to be prepared. So the gear that you need, you're just gonna need the camera that you already are utilizing for photo and the lenses that you plan to utilize during the session. So for me, I usually just have one camera bag and a couple of cameras. I tend to shoot back and forth between photo and video on the same camera, but I love to have that backup camera just in case something malfunctions, as we all know can happen from time to time. And then I have a variety of lens choices that I use. For the most part with family films, I'm shooting on a 35mm and using my Canon EOS R6. From there, I also make sure I have my stretchy camera strap attached because that is what I utilize for the majority of the stabilization whenever I am shooting a family film. The next thing I make sure that I have handy and already attached to my camera would be my external microphone. For me, I use a Rode Video Mic Pro. I will already have that on my camera ready to go with my stretchy camera strap, my lens attached, and from there, I'm pretty much ready to rock and roll. I also make sure I have very fast cards, which I've talked about in a lot of my videos and blog posts over at She Learns Video. I use the SanDisk Extreme Pro, usually in a 64 or 128, and that will give me lots of room for shooting both photo and video. Additionally, you'll want to have an extra battery or two ready and charged, because as we know, shooting video can take a little bit more battery life than just shooting photos. Next up on my checklist is to make sure that I have my settings mentally ingrained in my mind, ready to go. I like to make sure that I have a focus on what type of shutter speed I'm going to be using for both photo and video. A lot of this just comes down to knowing your location and knowing the light that's going to be available, but make sure you have a quick refresher on the frame rate you're going to be shooting for video, and just make sure you know what settings you're going to be using when you get there on site. For a lot of my videos, I tend to shoot in 60 frames per second, and then I'll also switch over to 24 frames per second if I'm going to be capturing any type of audio. The next thing on my checklist is to make sure that I have my client questionnaire completed. So I want to get as much information from the family as possible. If we are doing a traditional family session, maybe we are going to be outside at a park or going on some sort of family adventure together, or maybe we're just at their home and playing in the backyard, making breakfast together, something simple and easy. And I like to make sure I know what's most important to them, what I need to focus on during the film, and that will really help me to craft a story and put together my outline for the film. Okay, so now that you have your client questionnaire completed and you've reviewed that, it's time to prepare a shot list in order to make sure that you're ready on site for your session. So for me, I like to have a shot list for both photo and video. A lot of times I write these out in advance and then I'm just mentally checking them off as I go. If you do want to have an actual physical piece of paper with you, I encourage you to leave it in your camera bag or maybe have it on your phone and only reference it when you need it so it's not distracting to your client. I think a lot of times we need to make sure we're checking off the important photos first so that you have a nice workflow. You can get all those traditional looking at the camera photos in the beginning for the family, and then you move into more of the lifestyle and documentary approach, and those will work really well for both photo and film. Definitely make sure you're referencing that client questionnaire when you're putting together the story and the outline and shot list that you're planning to put together for your family film, because you want to make sure that you're capturing all those visual elements that you feel are important to the family, because that will make it so much more valuable for them. They'll be sure to refer you to all their friends. They'll love the film even more if you can really capture the family, the children, the connection that they have. Next, In your shot list, and really as you're preparing, make sure you think about what audio you might want to capture. So in your family questionnaire, you may put, what are some things that your children say, or what are some important things to capture during your session. And if they give you any indication of things that might be important from an audio perspective, definitely make sure that you're shooting in 24 frames for those and that you're documenting the important things for the family. For me, oftentimes this is little kids' voices, interaction between parents and children. If they're at home, maybe it's reading a storybook or just a simple conversation between mom and her child. All of these little audio nuggets that you capture are going to be so important, and you just want to make sure they fit really well with your story and that you're prepared in advance to document these on film. Okay, lastly, you want to make sure you have a delivery plan for your film. All of us as photographers have softwares that we use in order to share our images. For me, I use Shootproof. I upload all the images there, and then my clients can download them, making it so easy and streamlined. But oftentimes I have photographers who are new to video reaching out to me to say, hey, how do I send this video to my client? So you need to make sure you have a plan. Here are a few tools that I definitely recommend if you're new to video that you look into. If you do think that video is something you want to add to your business long term, I highly recommend Vimeo. Vimeo is a great tool. It's a wonderful viewing experience for your clients. It's beautiful. You can embed the videos right on your website. And if you do upgrade to their paid plan, they allow the ability for your clients to download the video right off the website. So it makes it easy and streamlined, and something that's enjoyable for both you as the photographer or filmmaker and both the client. Another option for delivering your films would be Dropbox. Many of us use Dropbox in our business, and depending on your file size, these can take a little bit of time to upload to Dropbox, but they are another way that your clients can download them and save them on their computer. There are other ways that you can deliver your films as well. You could do a USB, like flash drive. I know a lot of people do that, who are wedding filmmakers, and they really package it up in a beautiful way and send it off to their clients. Another way that I really like to share films is actually through my Shootproof gallery. So this isn't a way that your client can download the film necessarily, but you can add it to the beginning of their gallery so that it pops up prior to them seeing their images, and they can view their video right there. And that makes for a really cool viewing opportunity for them because they get to see both mediums captured there on one website. So I hope that information is helpful. This is a wonderful checklist if you are a new videographer who has experience as a photographer and you're really getting into adding this service to your business. I know that this will help you to prepare and really deliver a wonderful client experience from beginning to end whenever you're shooting a family photo and film session. If you liked this video, definitely like, share, subscribe, and go over to shelearnsvideo.com for more checklists and information on how you can really get started with adding video to your photography business.